Let's start from the very beginning. Starting from school, we learn a variety of different subjects. And the way we assimilate these subjects determines how we will understand and interpret them in the future. For example, geometry. Many people think that this subject is not as necessary in life. But when you have to do house renovations, for example, which does not require university level mathematics, you will need to count the amount of paint to use, the amount of materials, the sizes, as well as the various definitions and formulas, such as the area of a square or a triangle. You cover this topic approximately in 4th or 5th grade. So using the knowledge you learned in school can be applied in the future to do quality renovations with minimal losses. At the same time, we also need to consider the professionalism of the workers we hire, or whether we do the renovations ourselves, not trusting anyone or saving money. Thus, your house is your history. When we are choosing a partner, a husband or wife, we form our own individual history. And this is your small country. A person constantly grows and develops, applying or not applying the new skills or knowledge throughout life. We try to analyze successes and mistakes, and we also try to correct or minimize these mistakes. At age 18, a person gains the right to vote in the United States. The ability to elect politicians or judges that correspond to their worldview and who will represent their interests for a certain period of time. For example, a president for 4 years, a representative for 2 years, or a senator for 6 years. These politicians create laws in their countries or change something in them. They also act as representatives of their countries on the international stage. They create alliances between countries, international organizations, or conduct or break treaties between these countries. When choosing politicians, we believe in their professionalism and that they will keep their promises. We believe that as long as they represent our interests, the people's well-being will improve, businesses will thrive, international relations will strengthen, and that there will be peace throughout the world. However, not everything is so straightforward. Many promises made by politicians during their election campaigns may sound very appealing, but after the elections, these promises are either not fulfilled or remain in a state of uncertainty. This leads to disappointment and it hinders the development of the country's domestic and foreign policy. Many politicians, using their high position and the trust of voters, would deliberately distort information for their benefit and manipulate the people's trust in order to raise their authority or rating, in order to get a better opportunity in the future to get reelected or to occupy a higher position. They also play double games domestically and on the international stage. When signing agreements, many politicians make their decisions based on current circumstances, and they promise to make these promises, fulfill them. But the reality shows something completely different. By manipulating historical facts, politicians pit people against each other, domestically within their own countries, and on the international stage. When power changes in one or two countries, the agreements signed between them many years ago and without a time limit would either not be fulfilled or may be ignored by the new authorities. This would lead to internal conflicts both within the countries and most tragically, to murders and wars. That is, yesterday, representatives of a country spoke of peace and signed agreements on peace and cooperation, a historical document. And today, a war begins. Every decision made by a politician impacts the history of mankind, the economy, the development of their countries, as well as international relations. These decisions concern peace and the fight against hunger, unemployment, corruption, climate change, poverty, as well as the well-being and prosperity of the ordinary people, taxation, being a social elevator, and much more. To conclude, every person influences the course of world history. Therefore, by choosing politicians today, you influence the future of future generations and the course of world history. Thank you.